Welcome to the More Members Now podcast with Scott Whitaker. In today's episode, Scott is going to share 3 reasons why your membership needs a podcast. Now, having a podcast for your membership will not only help you multiply your members, but it will also help increase your influence and build your authority. So let me introduce to you Scott Whitaker.
Obviously, you're a podcast listener because you are listening to this podcast right now. And you might have been sitting on the fence for some time now, wondering how or why you should be doing a podcast. And I just want to say, first off, well, thanks. I want to say thank you for being a listener of this podcast, because I recognize that, quite honestly, I wouldn't have the opportunity to speak into your membership or into your business or into your life if it were not for this podcast. And so I just want to say thanks up front, because this podcast has enabled me to come alongside you and to encourage you in growing your business and to get more members and ultimately impact the lives of more people through your membership program. And that's why I believe you should be doing a podcast as well. Like, you would have the opportunity to impact so many more people if you were doing a podcast. And if you're already doing a podcast, by the way, let me remind you of the benefits that your podcast is creating for you. There are 3 reasons, and there's really more than that, but three ways that a podcast will multiply your membership. Number 1, it expands your reach. It expands your reach. It gets you into new audiences. There are people who are out there who discover our podcast through Spotify, through iTunes, through all those different podcast hosting sites that we would not have been able to discover otherwise, that we wouldn't have been able to impact, that we wouldn't have been able to share the resources and tools that we have with them if it were not for this podcast. It expands our reach. It gets us into new media. You see, we're on social media. Yes. We have a website. Yes. We have an email list. Yes. We do live events. Yes. And we have a podcast. All of those are modalities to get us into new audiences that we might not normally reach. And so a podcast can do that for you as well. So it expands your reach. A podcast will also grow your audience. Now, obviously, if you're listening to this, you're a part of the audience, but more than likely, you've already joined our free Facebook group over at facebook.com/membership marketers. You can search for us. And if you're not a member of that group, you should be. And so it helps us grow our audience on social media. It helps us grow our email list, because if you go to moremembersnowpodcast.com and you request our Power Pack, then, well, you are on our email list. And if you're not on our email list, you can also go to membershipmultipliers.com and get a free resource over there and get on our email list for even more free resources and free tools. And so it grows our audience so that we are able to communicate new things, new tools, new resources, new events, new opportunities directly to you. And here's the other thing. If Mark Zuckerberg was to decide to shut down Facebook and close the doors, whatever, like, I still have my podcast. I still have my email list. If for some reason our email list was to shut down for whatever reason, not that it's going to happen, but like for whatever reason, email was to go away, guess what? We still have our podcast. And so we're not relying on just one media to be able to influence our audience and grow our audience. So a podcast will expand your reach. A podcast will grow your audience. And then finally, a podcast will elevate your authority. It'll elevate your authority. Now, I know, to maybe you and I, like, podcasts is something that, we listen to and we do. But to the other mass audience out there, when they hear that you're a podcaster, like, all of a sudden you're now elevated. You've got a level of authority because now people are listening to you, they're subscribing to you, they want to hear what you have. And so not only am I able to say, well, I'm an author, but I'm also a podcaster. And that is a level of authority. That means something to our members. It means something to our prospective members, and it'll mean something for your members and your prospective members as well. So it builds your authority, elevates your authority. It grows your audience. It expands your reach. Ultimately, the end goal of all of this is so that you can impact more people. And that's really ultimately what a podcast will do for you. You want to impact more people with your membership, whatever your membership provides, whether it's better health, greater finances, more members like it is for us in helping you get more members. Whatever your membership provides, a podcast will help you do it even more. So, hey, listen, if there's a way that I can come alongside you and encourage you and continue to give you the marketing tools that you need, I want to invite you to take a 14-day free test drive of the Membership Accelerators Club. We give you a number of tools and resources all about helping you accelerate the growth of your membership. Go to membershipacceleratorsclub.com. Again, that is membershipacceleratorsclub.com, and request your free 14-day test drive and put it to the test. See that you're able to impact more people and get more members just by being a part of that members-only Membership Accelerators Club. So go to membershipacceleratorsclub.com, get more resources, more tools, and let's accelerate the growth of your membership alongside a podcast, which you should be doing, so that expand your audience, your reach, grow your audience, and elevate your authority.
You've been listening to the More Members Now podcast with Scott Whitaker. To find out more about Scott or learn how you can grow your membership business, visit membershipmultipliers.com. Or you can also get a free copy of Scott's brand new book, Accelerate, How to Get Your Next 10, 100, 500, or 1,000 members. Just go to acceleratemymembership.com.